What's going on? It's your boy, the Tech Panda, back again on the Also Dep Network. How y'all doing today? Greetings, salutations to all my tech heads out there. Today, you already know how we get down. We get straight to it. E-junk. What is it? What do we do with it? That's a really big problem for us techies. As my loving and dear sister just called me, a hoarder for the technology. We ain't getting rid of it. We scared that we're going to need it one day. Probably ain't going to never ever need it again. But we ain't getting rid of it. But what if you do want to get rid of it? If you don't want to get rid of it, is it worth fixing? Should you just throw it away? Should you sell it? What are we going to do with this e-junk? So first of all, let's define e-junk. E-junk is going to be anything electronic that we're going to call dated. And by dated, we're not going to say that it's just so old that it's antiquated and it becomes vintage, because then that's a whole different subject right there. If you got a Series 1 MacBook or the clamshells, you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting rid of that. That's a collector's item. Ain't going to do nothing but increase in value. We keeping that. That's vintage. We want to talk about stuff that's just slightly dated. So let's give an example of that. Like we talked about, new iPhones just dropped. What you gonna do with the old one? This comes my first suggestion on what to do with e-junk. We're gonna call it re-gifting. Now, everybody thinks of re-gifting as you get rid of the whack stuff that you don't want no more. In a sense, it kinda is, but you can be a hero if you re-gift right. Walk with me. New iPhones just dropped. So, you got a little niece, a little nephew, they getting in middle school, and now they want a new phone. You gonna go get them an iPhone X? You gonna go get them an XS Max? That's crazy. The only thing they're gonna do is either A, lose it, or B, drop it and break it. Now you got a $1,000 device that you're gonna have to put $300 into to get the screen in there. That's nuts. Why would you do that? That's like giving an 11-year-old a Caprice. You gonna go give them a round body Caprice just off deck like that? Absolutely not. But what you can do is look in your drawers and you say, you know what? I got an iPhone 5C in the drawer. I got a Galaxy S5, a Note 4. Devices that are dated but new enough rather, that they can still be usable. Some of those phones, like your iPhones, they can still be updated almost to the newest software. There is limitations on that. You're not going to take a 3GS and go put 12.1 on it. That's unreasonable. But if you have a 6 Plus or a 7 Plus, they're rocking the same software as your XS. No, it's not going to be as fast. No, it's not going to be as crystal clear as your 4K native retina display. No, it's not. But we're giving this to a 10-year-old. The only thing they want to do is what? Listen to Baby Sharks? Watch YouTube on it? That's the only thing that they're going to do. Play a little Fortnite? They're good on that. They're going to come to school stunting with a 6 Plus and they 10 years old. That's a win for everybody. So re-gifting is big. You can become the hero. Now with re-gifting, let's throw a little twist into it. You can also make a little money re-gifting. So if we take that same 5C that we got on your 6 Plus and your sister says, boy, you know your nephew trying to get him a little phone. He want to talk to some little girls or something. All you got to do is say, man, I got a phone laying around. Look, man, just shoot me, 50, 60 on the Cash App real fast and you can have it. Ain't nothing wrong with it. The screen good and everything like that. Now you done became a hero to the nephew and you got 50 in your pocket. Hey, if you that frugal, 50 go a long way. We drive gas guzzlers around here. V8s are nothing. 50 take you a long way in the gas tank. Or if you're a cheap date, you can go get you a 2 for $20 and then go see the new Bohemian Rhapsody movie. Now you winning. You done funded you a whole date. Regifting with a twist. Always, always on the Oh So Dope Network. You know we gonna try to maximize that money. That's what we about. So, what are some different types of e-junk? Let's define that. You got your phones. You got cameras. Cameras are a thing that's kind of coming back. So if you actually have some of the older generation digital cameras, some of the hipster generations are falling in love with those. And they love like film cameras and stuff like that. So there could be some money there for you. We'll get into that later. Tablets, laptops, desktops. Let's start with desktops. We got 2 desktops right here. There's really nothing wrong with either one of them. But no one wants a tower anymore. You get a tower, you gotta buy a monitor, you're gonna have cords everywhere. It's just no one wants that. We want the laptop, we want the tablet because it does basically the same thing. So, you got 2 towers here. What are you gonna do with them? Well, say your kid's into Fortnite or something like that, but you don't have the money to invest in a $3,000 gaming rig. You can take one of these towers that's got expandable bays on them, upgrade the memory, upgrade the RAM, and make it a decent gaming machine. So, you're saying, well, what am I going to do about the monitor, Tech? You still got to give me a monitor. You already know somebody got an old school 24-inch first generation plasma TV sitting somewhere. Don't nobody want it because now you can go to Walmart and get you a 50-inch for the $300. So it's mad 24s laying around. You get them a little 24-inch monitor. You done hook them up with an upgraded PC for like the $500. You automatically winning right there. You look like the hero of Christmas coming in there. And all you did was recycle your e-junk. Tablets. Those are the easiest things to re-gift. Little kids all want tablets. If you got nieces and nephews, little sisters and brothers, or your own children, as soon as they get home, they want to get on the tablet. That's the first thing that they want to do. That's the only thing that they want to do is get on the tablet. You got older generation iPads that's laying around here like this one. Nothing is wrong with this iPad. It's just a generation 1. So, of course, I don't want it because it's kind of slow. It's older. We want the stunt factor, so I want the iPad Pro. I want the big boy. But if you got a 5-year-old niece, nephew, kid, brother, sister, you got a generation 1 laying around, all you need to do is get a charger. It'll run YouTube. That's the only thing they're going to do anyway. You the hero of Christmas again. It's always ways to win. These iPads gets me into a subject that we're going to talk about in detail in a few minutes, and that's knowing the value. iPads and Apple products, people have a lot of problems identifying the value of said device. But we got one more to talk about. That's your laptops. As you see here, I got a plethora of them. All of them work. They all do different things. We got 2-in-1s. MacBook Pros. We got 2 MacBook Pros. This runs XP, a brand new copy of XP, and it still works. You know I can't get rid of XP. One of the greatest operating systems of all time. So, what are we going to do with these? That gets me into defining the value. One of these MacBook Pros is old as dirt. It's like a 2000. There's no value in that whatsoever beyond the avid collector who's going to want one in pristine condition. Who has a 2000 MacBook that's still in pristine condition? Very few people. There's no value in it. This one doesn't even have Wi-Fi because Wi-Fi was not popping in the early 2000s, 1999, when this particular model came out. Wi-Fi wasn't that big. You know, nobody really had that. So if you even connected this to a newer network, either via Ethernet port or something like that, you're going to bombard it with packets from the internet. There's no way that thing is going to handle that. But it has sentimental value. So for us in the tech world, that's a keeper. It ain't going nowhere. Then you have something like this 2-in-1 right here. This 2-in-1 is a newer 2-in-1. It's an HP. It's got the Beats audio, and it can form a tablet, and it also has a stationary dock for your keyboard. There is value in that. This is a resellable object. So, how do we determine our value? Number one, we need to look at age. If it's 4 years or older, you're getting into some real obsolete times. This isn't like back in the days when the first iPhone came out and then you had to wait 3 more years for them to drop a new generation. You already know how it's rocking. Every year, the new devices is dropping. Every year. So you got a device that's like 4 years old, you starting to push it. Really, really push it. And we're also going to talk about how people push the limits in certain areas. So with this 2-in-1, there is some value here, but that's to act fast. If you don't offload that now, if you're going to offload it, you're going to be stuck with that. Because no one's going to want it. It's too many years old. It's not going to perform the same way that you could get, say, a brand new Acer from Walmart. And it's going to outperform that. And it's cheaper. Because we're going to assign a value to it based upon the price that we paid for it. Which brings us to assigning a price. Ladies and gentlemen, here's a pro tip for you. When you're gonna resell, take your emotions out of it. Take your emotions out of it. What you paid for it when it was new is not, I repeat, is not what it's worth now. This is not a Van Gogh. This is not a LaFerrari that's gonna appreciate. These depreciate the moment that it comes off the assembly line. That is true. You ever heard that old adage that when a computer comes off the assembly line and hits the rack, it's already outdated? That is true. So this particular iMac was $1,900 when it came out in 2007. I can't sell this for $1,900. I can't sell that for $1,000. This is a $250 iMac all day, every day. It's $250. So you got to take the emotions out of it. You got to realize what you're working with. And the easiest way to take your emotions out of it is to realize that you've had that 10 years. You got your $1,900 worth out of it. Why not make your $250 if you need it or want it? Make your $250, take your emotions out of it, and get your money. Okay? So how are we going to decide what we need to price it at? We need to look at certain key factors. The demographic and your area. If you are in a college town, let's say you're in Houston in College Station, or you're in Baton Rouge, near Tigerland, near Southern University, certain items are going to sell fast no matter what the price is. So if you got some old Beats headphones laying around, college kids just got the fresh refund check, you can throw an abnormal price out of there. You can go ahead and hit them for a hot 150, 200. They just trying to get the beats for the stunt factor. We always talk about that. So know your demographic and know your area. Here, where we are in Shreveport, the area is not advanced enough technology-wise for you to really take advantage of your Craigslist, of your Facebook buy-sell trades. You're going to have to, if you want top dollar in this area, and if it's worth, not because you feel, if it's worth top dollar, you're going to have to go big boy. You're going to have to put it on your Amazon. You're going to have to put it on eBay. You ain't going to be able to put it on Let It Go, you know what I'm saying, and think that you're going to get top dollar for it, because this area does not contain that many techies. So in this area, someone gets, per se, this computer in 2007, they holding on to it till 2018. So why should I go out and look and buy a used device that you feel like is worth $1,500 because you paid $1,900 for it? It's just not going to work. If you're in a bigger city, your Dallases, your Houstons, your Los Angeles, your Floridas, anywhere something like that, you can go kind of nuts with the price, because it's a big swing in those major cities. You got certain people that's just trying to get rid of it. So they'll see this and it's worth $250 and let it go for the $150 all day, every day. You come with $150 in their face, it's yours. Or you got people that's going to be looking at the condition, the age of it, the owner, what it is you did with it. They're going to get really detailed and give you that top dollar. So you need to know the age of your machine. You need to know what your machine is capable of. Don't just say, oh yeah, man, you already know it's a iPhone 8. How many gigabytes is it? You know what I'm saying? That's very important when you're reselling phones. I see a lot of people post up phones, and the first questions that they ask is, number one, who's the carrier? If you're going to post your e-junk for resale, you got to have the information that people need. Because a lot of people like me, like my sister, like BJ, like Ma, when we go on there and we shopping for certain things, we looking at the presentation of how it comes on the internet. They buy a lot of shoes. They buy a lot of tech stuff. And if the presentation isn't there, if you gotta scroll 11 times, that's a Southern thing. We already talked about that on the Gimme That Beat podcast. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe. 11 times, and you gotta scroll, and you still can't find who to carry you, what gigabytes it is the screen in good condition, do you have a charger, does it come with the box? We off put on that. You know what I'm saying? You might have missed out on a sale, because certain people, especially like us, we hitting buy now all the time. We very rarely bid on stuff unless it is extremely nice and extremely rare. Other than that, it's buy now. Buy it now. And that's who you want to target, is your buy now people. So make sure you have your information ready. If you're going to be taking phone calls or text messages and stuff, have extra pictures on deck. That way, in case you're not by your device, say you're at work or out somewhere out to eat, and you get a message, you don't have to say, oh, well, I can't take no extra pictures of it right now because we out at El Patrio getting margaritas. So you really want me to wait another 3 hours for you to get home and hopefully remember to send me more pictures, and I'm trying to give you my money for your device? I'm moving on. So have extra pictures ready. A lot of serious buyers are gonna want to see more pictures. So have your extra pictures ready, have your information ready, and have a realistic expectation of the money that you're gonna get. So another key thing, and this is my last point, is the negotiation. The first person that throws out the number is usually the loser. Don't throw out your first number. You see where their head is at, because you could want $325 for it and they willing to pay $400 for it. So you throw out yeah man, all I really want is $325. They gonna hit you with the $300 on top. So you're gonna cheat yourself all that money. That's $100 that you lost by opening up your mouth first. Negotiation. Who throws out the first number is usually the first loser. Tell them to tell you what it is they expect to pay for a device that's in this condition. Always upsell. Say, hey, what kind of money you trying to spend, because this is a good deal, and let me tell you why. When you say something like that, when you put the pressure on a buyer because they think that if they don't act now to get what you got, that they gonna lose it, you gonna get that sale. You're gonna get the sale. That's what they want. They want to make it feel like, I gotta jump on this now, because if I don't jump on this now, I'm never gonna find a deal that good. So that's my pro tip on that. Always, always, always negotiate. But don't throw out that first number, and don't throw out your real number first. When you're going back and forth, don't throw out your real number. If you really saying that $325 is your buy it now, tell them you want $380. Work up higher. That way you don't price yourself out. So if you really want the $325, you start at $380. So even if you negotiate all the way down to $325, they feel like they got a good deal. They like, man, I talked Panda all the way down from $380 to $325. They don't know that you really only wanted $325 to get. And like I said, you could get somebody, you say $380, they might be like, bet, got $380 in your face. Now you done made a come up. It's always about to come up. So, let's do a quick recap. Too long didn't read version. E-jump. All your gadgets that you got laying around, your cameras, laptops, tablets, phones, even smartwatches, because now we got multiple generations of smartwatches. So smartwatches are now becoming e-junk. People got them laying around. So that's going to be our e-junk. We're going to want to know our demographic. We're going to know what our machine is. We're going to know what our machine is, what it's capable of. We want to have multiple pictures of it. We want to have the information on deck. Always negotiate. Never throw out the first number. Never throw out your real number off top. Always throw out the higher number. Negotiate down. Take what your bottom line is, okay? You already know how it is. Also Dope Network, Tech Panda. We want you to do all those Facebook things. Like, comment, subscribe. Same thing on YouTube. Yeah, comment, subscribe. Make sure you're checking out Major League Sports, Southern Soul, the episodes on the couch. We got something special coming for y'all. And I'm just gonna give you a tip. It's gonna get real creepy at night. That's all I'm gonna say. It's gonna get creepy. And I ain't talking about Halloween creeps. You already know how it is. So make sure you're checking out the Give Me That Beat podcast, which is coming back on a whole new level. The re-up is coming up. The glow up is here. You already know. Also Dope Network. Check us out. Tech Panda. We out here.